It's evening here at Amogla camp, and I thought I'd just make a video about this place, more of a vlog style video. I actually am just coming outside to take down the internet because we don't really have internet here. There's nothing over cable or over phone that would work. Phone lines are way too long. And cell phone for the most part doesn't work here actually. But if you go out onto the lake, onto the dock, you can just barely get a cell phone signal. And so I've got this Bell MiFi contraption out here. It's essentially a cell phone to Wi-Fi gateway. And so I put it out here. It's battery powered. I put it in a plastic bag so in case I drop it in the lake, it'll still be okay. And then I can just barely hit that over Wi-Fi from the cottage. And it's just crazy how quiet it is here. I'm not sure if you can even hear the background noises. But this is what the lake is like in the evening. And here's some of the cottages. This is cottage number 2, cottage number 3, cottage number 4, cottage number 1. You can't really see it through the trees. And then 5 and 6 are kind of too hidden in the trees too to be visible. Well, it's now a week later from my previous segment, and lots of friends and family have come and gone, and we've had a great time here. And now it's pretty quiet here, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit more about this place. My parents bought Amogla camp even before moving to Canada, and there was 8 cottages that were rented out, and these were all old-style cottages with outhouses. So then, over the course of the 1980s, my dad, with the help of the rest of the family, rebuilt all the cottages. And the first 2 new ones to be built were this one and this one. Both of these were started in 1981 and then finished in 82 and rented out for the first time in 83. And then in the fall of 83, we started building this one, and this is cottage number 2. And that one was completed in 1984. And after that, in the fall of 1984, we started building this one, which is number 1. So the cottage numbering is basically from west to east as opposed to order of construction. This is one of 2 cottages that actually has 2 stories. This one, some people really like it, others less so, because it's kind of isolated from the rest of them. And I've actually made a video about the foundations on this cottage. As you can see, some of them are a little bit crooked. This is all from frost heaving and such. But it's a nice big cottage with a big living room in it. So groups of people would sometimes kind of use this one as the main gathering cottage. It's not directly on the lake. This path goes down to where the boat is kept for this one. And I'll just walk around it to show you a bit more of it. Here's the firewood shed. And there's the one of the bedrooms up there. And there's this bridge down here, which the original bridge my dad had built. We actually had people drive their vehicles across. Since then, we've just opened up another path or road. So this bridge down here, even though it's fairly wide, is not for vehicles. Some friends of the family actually rebuilt this bridge just last year. The dilapidated bridge that was there before, we fixed it up in 2011. But things just kept shifting over and over, so it just became useless. This bridge here is actually just 2 telephone poles spanning the valley here, so probably not strong enough for a vehicle, but it means you don't need any supports in the middle, which means frost shifting is less of a problem. So after cottage number 1 was built, and once number 1 was built, we gave them numbers. Before that, it didn't really make sense to call the cottages number 3 and number 4 when they're the only ones. In the fall of 1985, we started the construction of cottage number 5. And as we went on, my dad got more, listened to feedback in terms of what people wanted. So as the cottages went on, they got, for instance, bigger windows. And they all started to have a deck. The original ones didn't have decks, these two. And my dad actually added those after the fact because, well, the people staying in those said, hey, we want a deck too. The railing on this one collapsed from an avalanche that came off of the roof in, I think, 2013. Oh, crazy bird. And I fixed that, and it's been good since then. I made a video about that. It was a real hack job, but it seems to be holding. After this one, we actually finally rebuilt the cottage, the main house here that we were staying in. And we started building that one in 1986. We tore down the old one and built this one after the season was over. And then my dad's shop burnt down. So this one took a little bit longer. So in 1987, we rebuilt the shop at the farm. That's the other place. And then this wasn't actually finished until 88. And then in the fall of 88, we started building cottage number 7, which is back here. And this one is being the end of the line in the opposite direction. It's the easterlymost cottage, is also a little bit isolated from the rest of them. And this one's had some major foundation issues. The whole cottage was at a considerable slant at some point, and then with nothing to lose, I tackled it with a bottle jack and just sort of propped everything up a bit. You can see how crooked the foundations are there, and pieces of wood that actually take up most of the load at this point. The easternmost side of it had raised itself up quite a bit. And you can see this foundation was originally poured in the ground and it just sort of started lifting itself. So the top row of concrete blocks has been knocked off just to shorten it, same with some of these other ones. And I managed to get the cottage kind of semi into level, but really it's kind of precarious what it rests on. But getting that fixed properly would be major expensive, and this seems to have held since I fixed it in, I think, 2007. Let me show you the inside of this one. There's the kitchen and the living room area, and the fridge is all open because, well, it's not being used at this point, just to keep it from getting smelly. Oh yeah, the masonry heater, kind of homemade. It's just based on a short barrel stove. And then back here we have bathroom, bedroom, another bedroom, and another bedroom. And every one of these cottages has a woodshed area, although there's no wood in here right now. I guess we just stashed some lawn chairs. And this is the last cottage that I helped directly with, because after building this one, I went off to university. This one has got the best beach, but it tends to overgrow. And interestingly enough, right there, that's an ash tree. Doomed, unfortunately, because of the ash borer, which hasn't gotten here yet. But only recently have I become aware just how many ash trees there are around here. Man, that's going to be a big job when those all have to go. Number 7 again. And this is cottage number 6, which my dad built in 1989. It's the last of the ones for rent. And this one has got nice big windows, because that's what the guests like. Kitchen, dining area, and the wood stove. They all have wood stoves because it can get quite cold in the morning, even in July. And a nice deck too. My sister always stays in this one. It's her favorite because it's so close to the lake right here, and the beach here is not too bad. So this camp used to be a tourist camp, and we'd rent out the cottages up until about 2006. At that point, it just became too much for my parents to run, and none of us kids actually lived at home anymore. And then my dad passed away in 2012, so it's really not run as a camp anymore. My mom still rents out a few cottages just to pay for some of the expenses, like the property tax. But overall, it's closed to tourists. We don't really need all these cottages anymore, but we're just too attached to the whole place to sell it. Another thing we've done from time to time is to let people stay here for free in exchange for work. For instance, putting sheet metal on the roofs of the cottages, or this one was actually reshingled. And there's always all kinds of work to be done, like firewood to be made or drains to be cleared and whatnot. So if that sort of thing interests you, maybe send me an email and maybe we can work something out. I've had a few friends do that sort of thing here too. It'd be sort of like what young people do called woofing, working for organic farms for free. Think of it like that, except you could bring the whole family, and it's for handy people.